Hello everybody, this is Melanie. Welcome back to Crafting Chaos with Melanie. Let me adjust the camera just a little bit. Welcome back to day 11 of Falloween. I'm really excited to be here, and today's a good one. Today we're going to be doing a scrapbook page, and I'm going to show you how to turn a plain white sheet of cardstock into a textured piece of background paper. And before we start this video, I have to be honest, this is round 2 because for whatever reason it cut off. So unfortunately, some of this video is already going to be done, and I'm so sorry for that. But the main premise of it is learning how to take texture or take a plain piece of cardstock and turn it into a background paper. And that is what we're going to do today. Now, what supplies am I using? I used all the leftover die cuts that we had from the previous videos, right, of Catherine Puller's stamp set. And this is the Appley Ever After. And guys, I have used and used and used this stamp set. I love it. Love this stamp set. The colors that we used was It's a Girl, Sauna, Wintergreen, Samba, Deck the Halls, and Macchiato. And whenever you get a Catherine Puller paper pad, it suggests what colors to use with it, and I love that. So those are the colors that we use to stamp everything, and I will tell you I'm going to leave the wintergreen out because we're going to be using that. We're also going to be using some re-inkers today, and I pulled out Samba and Sandcastle. So if you buy Catherine Puller inks, then I highly recommend that you get the ink refills because these are a foam pad, so you do have to re-ink them, especially if you use them as much as I do. But there's other uses you can use for these refills. So today we're going to do that. I have 2 stamping blocks. I promise you they're clean. They're just stained, and that's perfectly fine. So we have 2 stamping blocks. And I have a piping bag that I cut that we're going to be using to make the texture on the paper. Now, you could use saran wrap. You could use whatever plastic you have. All right, so what are we going to do? We are going to take our stamping blocks, and we are going to put some ink refill on here. And I'm going to just squirt out a couple of drops, okay? And then we're going to do this side too. Oh, what am I doing? I already messed up, guys. Already messed up. We want to do Samba on this one. We're not doing Macchiato or Sandcastle a couple of times, are we? All right, so we have that. Right, okay. And then I'm going to get water, a little spritz bottle that I have with water. And I'm going to move this just real quick before I do this. And I'm just going to spray this. Right, I'm just going to get it good and watery. I'm going to do both of them. Now, the reason this paper is so dirty is because we've already done this once, and I didn't change it out. I just went straight into the next video, so let's hope and pray this works. Okay. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is get this piece of plastic, and I'm just going to crumple it up. Okay? We're just going to crumple it up. And I'm going to come in here with the Sandcastle, okay? And I am just going to get some, dab it off, and I am just going to go all over this paper, right? No rhyme or reason. I'm just going to go all over this paper. Get some on this side. Look at that texture we're making. Oh, that looks so good. That looks so good. All right, so I'm going to put this to the side. And now I'm going to get the red. Now, the red, I'm going to go a little bit lighter on it, I think. Let's see. This is red. Okay. So I'm just going to... Oh, this is so pretty. This is so pretty. All right. All right. You see all that texture we've added there? Guys, this looks good. All right, now look at this. How good does that look? That is a white piece of cardstock, and it looks so textured. And like if you touch it, it looks like if you touch it, you could feel it. You know, like it doesn't look like it should be flat. It looks like it should have dimension, and it doesn't. It's just, you know, a flat sheet of paper. Oh, isn't that pretty? Okay, now, I don't like the edges. I feel like this needs to come out a little bit more. And I had done one. I didn't like using the Samba, and I didn't like using the Sandcastle. So I brought in wintergreen and a blending tool. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this blending tool, right? And we're just going to come around the edges, and we're going to darken those edges up. And this does two things. It adds more texture, and it looks like almost like we matted this on another piece of cardstock. Kind of like when you do a card. You know, when you do a card, you usually layer it. You have a base, and then you layer another piece on, and depending, you know, you layer another piece on, and that's kind of what scrapbooking is. Scrapbooking, you take stickers and ephemera and paper, and you just add it to the page. Look at that. Now here I want to go a little bit darker. Isn't that gorgeous? I love this. Like, again, I think it feels like you could just touch it and you should be able to feel that texture. And it's completely flat. Now, this is not watercolor paper. This is 12 by 12 paper. This is from Michaels. So I did not saturate this in water, and I would not recommend that. It's not built for that. If you get a lot of water and a lot of dampness, it's going to buckle. It could even tear. So that's not what I did here. This is already dry. I didn't use a lot of water. It may have looked like more than what I used, but I didn't use a lot. Look at that texture. So we went from a white sheet of cardstock. Well, we've got the back all messed up, but, you know, it was white. And then we made this. Now, this is where the video gets a little bit different, because I did this next part on video and I can't take it apart, guys. I just can't. And I used, if you remember, we did like 20 cards, right, from the paper pack from earlier in this series, the 1st of September. And so this was the leftovers, and I intentionally did not use these papers because I wanted to do this scrapbook page of my sister, because I was telling you the story about how she had apple trees and what good memories it brought back. So I called her and I'm like, Angie, do you have any pictures? And she literally went out the next day and took some pictures for me and sent them to me. And I love her for that. I love her for being such a good sport for me and doing that for me. So this page that I did is going to be hers. I'll put it in a frame or something for her. I haven't decided, but let me go ahead and I will bring in what we did and I will explain. All right, here's the finished scrapbook page. Isn't this beautiful? I love this. So the first thing I did is I really wanted the photos to be there. I love the photos. You got the apples, you got Angie. Just look at that. So I didn't trim the photos at all. These are 4 by 6. So 4 times 3 is 12. So they're 12 inches apart, which went perfectly across your 12 by 12 paper without having to mat the photo. So I put the photos, I tacked the photos down first before I put them down completely. And I took the paper and I layered it up. And all I did was take the scraps that I had and made layers. That's all I did. And what I did here, I kind of brought down here because I wanted the eye to go, you know, as a visual triangle, which, you know, I say that like I know what I'm talking about and I'm learning. I mean, I've scrapbooked for 20 years, but I'm trying to learn all these, the way artist does it. and yeah, it's quite funny sometimes. And then what I did was take the apples, and I just took the leftover apples that I had, and I have almost used all those apples. I took a basket that I had left over, and I just layered up the apples. I did use the same apples down here as I used here. I did put a title, Be Thankful Always, and Angie, she's always thankful, and I'm sure she is so thankful for those apples. I'm sure she is making apple butter or freezing these apples or doing something yummy with these apples. And then down here, like I said, the basket. And I also think it's very important whenever you're doing a scrapbook page that you have the date on there somewhere. And I am notorious. You can look through all my albums and somewhere on that page there is a date. It could be down here in the corner, just, written very lightly down here in the corner. It could be made a big deal about. It could be a focal point. It could be on the journaling. But in this one I just hand wrote on a scrap piece of paper. I used this one right here. Right? I just wrote 2023, cut it out, and put it with a little flower. And the Be Thankful, I used another stamp set of Catherine Puller's, and it is, what is this? Give Thanks Sentiment, and I used the Be Thankful. I used Samba, and I just wiggled cut it. I call it my wiggle cut. That way it's not straight. It's not designed. To me, it makes it look like it was made like this. Like I cut that out with a die because of the way I wiggle it. I call it wiggling the scissors. So that's my wiggle title there. So look how pretty this turned out. I love this. I think this is so pretty. I am so sorry that the process isn't here. I don't know what happened, but this will do today. I love it. I hope you like it. Leave me a comment. Let me know. If you're not subscribed and you like this video, then hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications and leave me a comment. If you have any crafty friends, and tell them about it. And this is what we did. Look at that. I love this. I just think this paper is scrumptious. And you know what? I'm not going to let this paper go to waste. I'm going to do something with this paper, and when I do, I will let you see it. I'm thinking about doing some Facebook Lives. I'll let you know. I don't know. I'm a little bit scared. I got to come out of my comfort zone a little bit more, but if I do that, I'll let you know. All right, guys, I hope you like this video. Remember, thumbs up, and I will see you tomorrow for day 12 of Falloween. Bye.